Ever made a promise to Allah at time of crisis only to conveniently forget about it once things get better? Let's dive into verse 67 in Surah Al-Isra and see what it says about our selective memory. Welcome back to Reflect with Hiba. I'm Hiba, and on this channel we reflect on ayat and see how it applies to our reality and what lessons we can learn from them. So on today's video, we're gonna discuss ayah number 67, like we said in Surah Al-Isra, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا مسكم الضر في البحر ضل من تدعون إلا إياه فلما نجاكم إلى البر أعرضتم وكان الإنسان كفورا, which basically translates to, and when you call upon Allah in the midst of hardship in the sea, you forget everyone else you usually invoke and you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when He saves you back to the dry land, you forget and you turn your back. What ungrateful human beings are. And I personally can say I've done this many times in my life. The first time I ever remember I've made a promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only to forget about it. I remember I was maybe 7 years old, 7 or 8. I had to go to a tutor. We didn't have a car. I had to go through this rocky road, you could say. It wasn't exactly a paved road, and it was in the heat of the summer. I was so afraid that a snake would come out or a scorpion or something like that. And every time I would go through that road, I would just make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, please save me. Let me arrive to my tutor safely, and I promise if you get me through this, I would be the perfect human being. Such a naive and innocent dua, you could say, a child did. And that was the first time I ever remember I've done that. Only to recently do something like this again. About 2 months ago, I had to take the IELTS exam. And while we're waiting for the exam to start, I had my mushaf, this mushaf here, which I had for maybe 20 years, if not more. It's the mushaf I've done hifz with, and it's filled with my highlights and like notes and stuff. But regardless, I opened my mushaf. I just opened a page randomly, and the ayah I come across is this ayah, ayah 67, Surah Al-Isra, which we just read. And it caught my attention. I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I was so scared of this exam. I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm like, Allah, if you just let me go through this exam, get the mark I need, I will fix my ways. I will pray tahajjud, I'll be good again. And once again, a broken promise. This incident made me just reflect on this ayah. I knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel soon. And I said the first ayah I want to share with you guys my reflections on is this ayah. Subhanallah, it's just a human nature that at a time of need, we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we make promises, we make deals, and when things get better, we either intentionally forget about our promises or subconsciously, unintentionally, we forget about them. This ayah presents the worst case scenario where somebody is just lost in the sea. There is no way out for them. No help is coming, and they're just about to die, and they just turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making the promises and asking for Allah's help, Allah's aid. The ayah says, ضَلَّ مَن تَدْعُونَ إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. The entities you invoke, the entities you usually call upon, whether it's our VIP friends, our connections, whether it's we rely on our intelligence, whatever we invoke, we forget all of that at the time of need, and we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But why is it that when things get better, when Allah saves us, we turn our backs and we forget all the promises we just made? فَلَمَّا نَجَّاكُمْ إِلَى الْبَرِّ. And when He saves us to dry land, when we were just so sure that we are done, we're dead, and He suddenly, subhanallah, saves us, كَانَ الْإِنسَانُ كَفُورًا. Human It's not talking about one person, it's talking about us as humans, the human nature. كان الإنسان كفورا. Kafura as in ungrateful. You forget about the ni'mah and you're ungrateful to this ni'mah. What I'm trying to do in this video is just remind myself that, first of all, we shouldn't wait for calamities to hit, to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's always there. And He is so happy when we return back to Him. He's even happier than us. So we shouldn't wait until calamities hit to fix our ways. And if we decide to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of a difficulty, and there's nothing wrong with that, let's just remind ourselves and remind myself first to keep the promises, or at least try and aspire to keep our promises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's about the pursuit. Allah is not going to judge us based on the results, based on where we reach. He's going to judge us on the pursuit, on what we try. And that's what He wants to see from us, that we are trying. So what promises have you made in tough times and you forgot about them? I'd love to read your stories. Like I said, I myself am guilty of that many times, and I'd love to read your comments, inshallah. If you found any benefit in this video, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and I will see you next video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.